Hey, I hope everyone's doing okay. I might experience a little audio issues in the first 30 seconds. If I do, please bear with me. They should resolve very soon. As you can see here, the subject matter of today's video, and as I said, I apologize if I'm still experiencing any kind of audio issues. They usually resolve within about 30 seconds. The topic today is Ambesol, the toothache reliever. I firmly remember Ambesol. It has now been changed to Anbesol. Well, one of my wisdom tooth, I had a huge cavity, and for a while I was going through that stuff. It was a little over $5 or $6 a bottle for the concentrate extra strength. And I was going through it quite a bit, so I'm very familiar and very comfortable with my memory that it was Ambesol, AM. Now here we're going to show you some residual data. A lot of it's self-explanatory. As you see the label, though, now, it has been changed to Anbesol, A-N. But we're going to show you plenty of data from doctors' books. Right here, look at this book here. This is a book that generally you're not going to encounter such gross misspellings. As I said, a lot of this is self-explanatory. Most of this is from the health field, health professions, dentists, PDFs from schools, where parents have to sign release forms for their children to be able to use over-counter medicine at the nurse like Ambesol. You're going to see a lot of those. This is just a lot from Google Books. And you can see in all these cases it's spelled A-M-B-E-S-O-L. I might make a mistake and I might get one of them in there that was A-N. But I think most of these will say A-M. Now, and they also might say A-M and A-N in the same page. But as I said, that's one of the qualities and characteristics of these Mandela effects is you often will, they seem to have sometimes a problem with some of the hypertext or the web authoring software, some of the HTML authoring software. But anyway, a lot of these are family dental practices and children's dental practices you're seeing, and they're all spelling Ambesol here. You know, if you have to freeze and look at these URLs, you can go back and verify every one of them. All of these were active as of today. Here's another permission slip, I believe. Now this one's interesting because you see the hyperlink, it's A-M-B-E-S-O-L, and you see the wording, but then when we go into the actual thing, it's A-N-B-E-S-O-L at Brooklyn. So I thought that was very interesting. In the hyperlink, it was Ambesol at Brooklyn. Then when you went into the PDF, it was Anbesol. I think that's very telling. You see that a lot with Mandela effect cases versus other test cases that you might try to search for that aren't actual Mandela effects. The way the data comes up is so much different. And a lot of these are running fast, so you might have to watch this again or freeze down some of the frames. Who to go to if you have what to do if you have a dental emergency in this case. Here's a lot of dentists, a lot of doctors. Now, I think it's very disturbing that this many dentists and doctors and family health centers would be making such a terrible mistake on Ambesol. We know it's not a memory issue because we're seeing that here. So the only thing to fall back on now for most critics would be a spelling issue. I think this is interesting. I find Ambesol.com, and when I linked on it, this is what I got. I find this interesting. If you'll notice now that the domain is registered in Switzerland now. I think that's very interesting, being that CERN and Switzerland's there. Freeze this and take a look at it here. Now it runs out in 2018, and then some of the other Ambesol.com sites I went to, I just got this. But I thought that was very interesting that currently that domain, Ambesol, A-M-B-E-S-O-L, is owned by a company in Switzerland? Same place CERN is? Is that a coincidence? That's a very strange serendipitous coincidence in my opinion. Follow the money on this, people. Those anonymous Swiss bank accounts would be easy for people at CERN to operate and manage just as well. Theft by deception through exotic technology using Higgs boson singlets. But it's still a crime, people. Unfortunately, we don't seem to have a time-traveling police force, do we? It appears that law enforcement hasn't caught up with the technology that is being used out there in Geneva. I'm just letting most of these run. As I said, most of them I don't really need to provide any context to. You just, freeze them, take a look at them. Now, in this case, this is the cover page to this PDF. And here's the content, where it says Ambesol. Plenty of instances. Another dental. As I said, I got a lot of this from dental companies and dentists and health centers and surgery centers, places like that. Thought this was interesting. This is U.S. Army Fort Dix commissary list. Okay, here's the beginning of the list, and look down here now. You see Ambesol further down the list there on the upper left there of this frame. So Fort Dix, U.S. Army commissary list. It's also spelled Ambesol. Here's a couple of doctors here. Sure enough, they're down at the bottom, across from the nasty teeth, is Ambesol. And not all these sites are English. Some of them are not in English, but I still try to highlight the Ambesol part of the content of it, like we're doing here. In some cases it won't let me highlight the PDFs, but any time I can, I try to highlight them so the word Ambesol, in this case, will stand out and make it a little easier to find, so you don't have to keep rewinding and freezing. Just keeps on going. I stopped. I just found so many that I decided to stop and go ahead and make the video. I had quite a bit of them. So at this point, if people aren't convinced this isn't an artificial memory issue, then what's a few more PDFs going to make a difference to them? That's the cover. There's the content here. You'll see Ambesol written down there. Ambesol. Follow the money, people. A lot of oral surgeons. It's disturbing to think that all these oral surgeons, all these doctors, all these elementary schools that are having parents sign release forms, are especially the medical doctors and health centers and pediatric journals here in this case, all are misspelling the benzocaine product Ambesol. What's the statistical probability of that? Here's an inmate handbook from a prison that I guess things that the prisoners are allowed to use, that's okay. And as you see, top right corner, Ambesol. Once again, look at the Ambesol status report. Look who owns the domain, look where they're located, and look at the IP that it's associated with. I haven't looked up the search IP. I probably should have done that before I made this video, but if someone wants to do that, that'd be great. Now, here's some patent information currently on Ambesol, A-N. And you'll see it's the patent's owned and registered by a UK company. And in Ambesol teething gel, the same thing. Now, I'm going to link you at the end of this video to some Ambesol commercials, and you can clearly hear them say Ambesol. You can go ahead and read this. This is just someone on the internet had written about the confusion of Ambesol and Anbesol, and you can see what they wrote here. I'd recommend you freeze the frame and read it. They even went and watched these commercials I'm going to link for you. And they said, I could have swore it, but go ahead and read this. This is interesting because this is what a lot of people that go through the Mandela effect, probably very similar to their thoughts on something like this would be. And as I said, go ahead and go in the description, because I'm going to link all of these Ambesol commercials that she's referring to right here, or as many as I can, and you go in and listen to these Ambesol commercials. You're going to see it written A-N, but it's clearly pronounced, in my opinion, A-M, A-M, Ambesol, okay? So look in the description for some links for these commercials. Take care. We'll get you another video when we have something of value to bring to you and share with you.